Hey team, we've got Michael Elliott here. Michael's been with the South Hedland crew for the last 18 months. So Michael, what advice would you give to the new physios and our existing physios in the company?
Oh, that's a good one. Establish a vision for yourself as to where you see yourself as a therapist within this group. We all know that every company has a vision and a mission, and I feel sometimes that as individuals we also need to have that for ourselves. Our career trajectory, we are responsible for that ultimately, so I feel it's very important to understand what it is that you want to contribute and how you wish to do so. So, sight is a function of the eyes, and vision is a function of the heart. So if you know that you want to specialize in a certain space or sphere, the question is, what are you doing to move yourself towards that direction? So even if it's just half an hour extra of reading per day, you have to ask yourself, how am I spending my days, and how that can help me develop into the great therapist that I wish to become. And often it starts with answering yourself the most important question is, am I the best that I can be right now? And if you're honest with yourself, you can always be better. So what's it going to take for you to do just that, to be better and do better?
Now you mentioned you've got an acronym, SPIN.
That's correct.
Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so over the years working as a therapist, I realized that communication is quite key. We are often engaged in conversations with our patients, and often there are many key points that we want to address that we often don't because we're not taking charge of that conversation. So SPIN is a model that I use to help steer all my conversations with my patients, and it stands for S is the situation, which could be, okay, I've got back pain. P is the problem, and the problem could be, because I've got back pain, I can't go to work. And I would then be the impact, or if I can't go to work because of my back pain, how's that going to impact my life? Does it mean that I don't get paid? Does it mean that I can't be a contributing member of my household? And then N would be the need. So what would be the need or the solution to solve that problem? And either that could be, well, you need to come and see me for 6 sessions so that over time we can address the scenario, or you need to get a 10-pack decompression bed with me so that we can get you back into work fully functional and return you back to work and to life. So SPIN is a good communication tool that I use to help me navigate through those conversations.
Yeah, nice, I like it. So another common issue that we often have with our younger physios particularly is that they feel as though their clients sap a lot of their energy and motivation. I find that if you can just somehow gain that extra bit of motivation and energy to give to the clients often feed off that. But have you got any other words of advice when the physio's feeling down, they're tired, they're hungry, thinking of other things? How do we get those physios back on track, thinking about their clients again?
I think establishing a true sense of empathy is definitely key. If you find yourself drained at the end of the day, then that means that you haven't been empathetic, you've been more sympathetic. So, it's having a true empathy style means that you understand when Bill comes through the door with these frustrations and all these problems, and he's the 10th Bill for the day, that it's not about you, that it's about Bill. And if you can establish that and understand that, okay, this is about Bill, it's not about me, then you get to preserve your energy and you get to maintain that energy, and your vibe attracts your tribe. And before you know it, Bill will be smiling and Bill will be laughing because, hey, finally someone who understands. And you don't have to be sympathetic to understand, you have to be empathetic. So that's definitely the key. Yeah,
I like that definition between sympathetic and empathetic. It certainly makes a difference there. Because obviously the first client of the day is every bit as important as the last client of the day. Physio can be mentally as well as physically challenging and demanding. So I guess it's also important to have your time away, your rest time, also have your life outside of physio as well, which I think will also be important in showing up your better self for the next day for work as well.
Exactly. You need to take care of yourself. And if you're not tending to your own garden, which is, your mind and your body and your life, then, it's you can't pour from an empty cup. So how do you fill your cup up is the question that you have to ask yourself. And whose responsibility is it to fill your cup up? It's only yours. So I think the greatest advice there is take responsibility for how you show up and where you wish to show up to in the future.
And it's not always easy, is it? So
no.
it's a matter of you've got to challenge yourself, I think.
Exactly, and I think that's the biggest problem. Is we all get motivated, you know, and you can be as motivated as you wish to be. After all the jumping up and all the excitement, you still have to go out there and do it. And so it's not motivation that people like; it's the discipline. You know, and setting a structure and to create the day that you wish to have. I struggle with time management, for example. So the one thing that I'll often do is I've got a timer, and we've got 20-minute sessions. So at 16 minutes, that timer goes off. So now I know I've got 4 minutes to get my patient off the plinth, take them towards my patient recovery plan, exit them through the door with them having a clear understanding of what needs to happen going forward, and allows me enough time to bring my next patient in. So that's just me taking responsibility for how I wish my day to go. And I like a smooth day, and often in this world it's not always that smooth.
And when you have a smooth day, it's less stressful too, isn't it?
Yes sir, yes sir. So take charge and create the day that you wish to have.
And to have a structure, it's very important to set goals. So you know, you have your longer term goals, but you should also have those smaller goals, no matter what they are, to achieve throughout the day or throughout the week, which will obviously make that day and week run smoother as well.
Definitely set the goal. I'm big on goal setting. Once you set the goal, I believe that 60% of the work is done. In fact, the rest is easy, because now once you know what your goal is, all you have to do is act accordingly for that goal to align. So if I know that I want to gain or lose 20 kilos, I have to act accordingly. If I want to gain 20 more kilos, go to Chicken Treat. If you want to lose 20 kilos, go to the gym, eat more fruit, eat more veg.
And same thing from a physio perspective.
Exactly.
If you want to get your clients better, faster, or have a bigger array of tools in your kit, then doing that extra half an hour or an hour of studying at the end of the day, often it's, you know, you're tired, it's the last thing you want to do, but to an extent that's what you have to do to improve yourself as an individual, as well as improve your craft.
Exactly. And the question there is, do you have to do it or do you want to do it? If it's a have to, well, then we need to start reevaluating. If it's a want to, well, that's where you are truly flourishing from within, because I want to become a better therapist. So that extra half an hour of reading a day is not a laborsome task, it's an investment. It's an investment into myself, it's an investment into my patients, it's an investment into my future. So how are you investing your time? Because, you know, there's 24 hours in the day, but how are you spending those hours? And the choices we make today determine our tomorrows. So if I spend half an hour a day reading about a neuro, which might not be my forte, as the weeks go by, I'll be better suited to treat my neuro patients. You know, if it's complex cervical patients that I'm dealing with, and that's not my forte, an extra half an hour of reading per day will make me quite a competent therapist in my future, and a respected member of the physio community as well. So it's your vibe attracts your tribe. If you're willing to invest in yourself, your patients will be willing to invest in your treatment as well.
And like you say, motivation's got to come from within, doesn't it? So,
yes, sir.
You know, you've got to do what you want to do as opposed to what you think somebody else will want you to do, or how you act on your own as opposed to when someone's looking over your shoulder is quite important as well. So you've got to hold yourself accountable as an individual to be able to flourish.
And if you know your worth, then you will definitely hold yourself quite strongly to that accountable state. So if you rate yourself as an excellent physiotherapist, then the accountability has to match that. Yes. You know, and great therapists, great tradesmen do great things, and they invest greatly. So with great investment comes great reward. So yeah, keep investing in yourself.
Absolutely. All right, Michael, thank you for your advice.
Thank you, boss.